What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this, reality is quietly bending in ways your brain was never designed to notice? That time is not flowing the same for everyone, that empty space is not really empty, and that your body is constantly being rebuilt without you even realizing it. This is not science fiction. This is the real universe operating behind the scenes. And once you truly understand these ideas, it becomes almost impossible to see the world the same way again. So stay with me because the next few minutes might completely change how you think about reality. Think about this for a second. You have never actually touched anything in your entire life. It feels strange to hear, but it's true. When you place your hand on a table, what you feel is not solid contact. At the smallest level, atoms are mostly empty space, and the electrons in your hand are repelling the electrons in the table. What your brain interprets as touch is really electromagnetic forces pushing back against each other. So, in a very real sense, you are floating just above everything you think you're touching. Once you realize this, the idea of a solid world starts to feel more like an illusion created by your senses. Before we go deeper, if you enjoy content that makes you question reality and see the universe from a new angle, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and it tells YouTube to share these ideas with more curious minds like yours. This channel, Think in Physics, is all about turning complex science into stories that actually make sense, so if that excites you, you're in the right place. Now let's talk about time, because time might be the strangest thing of all. You feel it moving forward, second by second, like a steady river. But according to physics, time doesn't flow the same way for everyone. If you were on a spaceship moving close to the speed of light, time for you would slow down compared to someone on Earth. This isn't a theory or a guess. It's been measured with real clocks. Astronauts on the International Space Station age just a tiny bit slower than people on the ground. It's a very small difference, but it's real. That means time is flexible. It stretches and compresses depending on speed and gravity. And here's where it gets even stranger. Gravity itself can slow time down. A clock on the surface of Earth ticks slightly slower than a clock on a mountain. A clock near a black hole would almost stop completely compared to one far away. So when we say time is universal, we're not being fully honest. There is no single clock for the universe. Every object carries its own version of time, shaped by where it is and how it moves. The present moment you're experiencing right now is not exactly the same present moment someone else is experiencing somewhere else. Now imagine this. Somewhere in the universe, far away from Earth, there could be civilizations living their lives where our future exists as their present. Because of how spacetime works, different observers can disagree on what events are happening right now. This idea alone has huge implications. It suggests that the past, present, and future may all exist at the same time, like pages in a book. We just experience them one page at a time. If that's true, then the future is not something that suddenly appears. It's already written into the structure of the universe. Let's zoom in from the vastness of time and space and come back to you. Your body feels stable, like it's the same body you had yesterday. But in reality, you're constantly changing. Most of the atoms in your body are replaced over time. The air you breathe becomes part of you and then leaves again. The food you eat turns into cells, energy, and heat. Even your bones are slowly renewing themselves. In a few years, a large portion of the atoms that make up your body right now will be gone, replaced by new ones. You are not a fixed object. You are a process. And yet, despite all this change, you feel like the same person. This raises a deep question. What is the real you? Is it the matter in your body which is constantly changing? Or is it the pattern, the information, the way your brain is wired? Science suggests that identity is less about the stuff you're made of and more about how that stuff is arranged and how it changes over time. You are more like a flame than a statue. The flame looks stable, but the particles inside it are always moving. Now let's go even deeper into the smallest scales of reality. At the quantum level, the universe behaves in ways that feel almost magical. Particles can exist in multiple states at once. They don't have definite positions or speeds until they are measured. This is called superposition. It means that before observation, reality is more like a cloud of possibilities than a solid fact. Only when something is measured does the universe seem to make a decision. This leads to one of the most unsettling ideas in science. The act of observation matters. Measuring a system changes it. It's not just that we don't know everything. It's that some things don't have definite values until we look. This has led scientists to debate what observation really means. Does it require a conscious observer? Or is any interaction enough? The universe, at its core, might be less like a machine and more like a conversation. And here's a thought that really stretches the mind. Every particle in your body was once inside a star. The elements heavier than hydrogen and helium were forged in the intense heat and pressure of stellar cores. When massive stars died, they exploded and scattered these elements across space. Over billions of years, that material came together to form planets and eventually life. So when people say you are made of stardust, it's not poetry, it's chemistry. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the carbon in your cells all come from ancient stars that lived and died long before Earth existed. Now think about how unlikely your existence really is. The universe is around 13.8 billion years old. For most of that time, Earth didn't exist. Life didn't exist. And for a very long time after life began, humans didn't exist. Every step along the way required an incredible chain of events. A stable star, a planet at just the right distance, liquid water, complex chemistry, evolution, consciousness. The fact that you are here, aware, thinking about these ideas is the result of an almost unbelievable sequence of coincidences. Yet the universe doesn't seem to care whether we exist or not. It follows simple laws, and from those laws, complexity emerges. Galaxies form, stars ignite, life evolves, minds appear, and those minds begin to ask questions about the universe that created them. In a way, the universe is trying to understand itself through us. Every time you learn something new about physics or reality, the universe becomes a little more aware of itself. Let's talk about space, because space is not what it seems. We often imagine space as a big empty stage where planets and stars move around. But according to modern physics, space is dynamic. It can stretch, bend, and ripple. Gravity is not just a force pulling objects together. It is the curvature of spacetime caused by mass and energy. When something massive exists, it changes the shape of space around it, and other objects move along those curves. This is why black holes are so fascinating. They are regions where spacetime is curved so extremely that not even light can escape. Near a black hole, time slows down dramatically. From the outside, an object falling in appears to freeze at the edge. From its own perspective, it falls in normally. Two different realities, both valid depending on the observer. This tells us that reality is not a single fixed story. It depends on where you stand. Now here's a calming thought. Despite all this complexity and strangeness, the universe runs on a surprisingly small set of rules. A handful of fundamental forces and constants shape everything we see. From the motion of galaxies to the chemistry of your brain, it's all connected. When you learn physics, you're not just learning formulas. You're learning the language the universe uses to describe itself. This is why curiosity matters so much. Every question you ask, every idea you explore, strengthens your connection to the bigger picture. You don't need to be a scientist to think deeply about reality. You just need curiosity and the willingness to be amazed. And that's exactly what we try to encourage here on Think in Physics. As we move toward the end of this journey, take a moment to reflect on your own place in the universe. You're a tiny part of something unimaginably vast, yet you carry the ability to understand it. The atoms in your body have traveled across cosmic distances. The laws that govern distant galaxies also govern your heartbeat. There is no true separation between you and the universe. You are not in it. You are part of it. If this video made you think differently, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and share the idea that surprised you the most, or the one you can't stop thinking about. And if you know someone who loves mind-bending science, share this video with them. You never know which idea might spark a new way of seeing the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.